But right now, Robert Phillips is with us along with Mike King. These guys are from Habitat for Humanity. Robert is the new CEO at Habitat for Humanity here in Battle Creek. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Robert, you've been on the job since what, about the Cereal Festival, I guess, June 10th or so?
Yeah, not quite 2 months yet.
Yeah, and you take over for Beverly Kelly, who retired after 5 years in that position.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your background?
Well, in high school, I was given the option to take a couple different trade courses, auto shop, metal shop. I chose a building trades program. At the end of that program, we worked on a new build for Habitat. That was my introduction to Habitat for Humanity and the nonprofit world. My first job out of college was with the Nature Conservancy, a very large nonprofit. I've been in the nonprofit world ever since. And I've been a Habitat volunteer now for 25 years.
How long has Habitat been around now? Not much more than that, I don't think.
No, I think it's 78 maybe, mid-70s.
Great organization. It's too bad we can't get Jimmy Carter up here to wield a hammer, but I don't think he's doing a lot of that these days. But man, he did a lot for Habitat for Humanity, didn't he?
Yeah, he's the face of Habitat, really.
Yeah, he really is. And I don't know. I just there's something about Habitat for Humanity that just it just represents community kind of pulling together and doing really things that you see, that you can really see, that you can really wrap yourself around.
Yeah, there's a true housing epidemic in this country, safe and affordable housing. It's everywhere. Calhoun County, it's certainly affected by it, and that's Habitat's business, is to build those safe and affordable houses.
Now, you've worked in a lot of different nonprofit groups, Girl Scouts and housing resources, child development, Head Start, all of these. What working in all these vast and diverse nonprofit organizations, how does that help you in your new job at Habitat for Humanity?
Well, yeah, they've all been nonprofits, been my entire career. So I come in with a lot of experience, and I've seen a lot of things. I'm just glad now to finally be part of Habitat as an executive director. I'm a self-described Habitat junkie, so it's kind of it's where I've worked, what I've worked for.
And you have a degree in getting blood out of a turnip.
Yeah. Ask any nonprofit executive director, and that's what it's all about.
Yep, that's absolutely true. Also joining us today, your construction manager, Mike King. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
What are you guys doing right now? Is there a project ongoing or about to start?
Well, we're wrapping up a project at 48 New England in Battle Creek. We also have a project in Marshall that is about halfway through the construction process. We're also in the process of beginning a house at 390 Avenue A in Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, we do a lot of wheelchair ramps for people. So throughout the course of the year, we'll do 40 wheelchair ramps.
And those can be, man, I mean, sometimes you have to really put on your thinking cap and think out of the box to make that work, don't you?
That's true. That's true. We have a young man, Justin Bird, who heads up our wheelchair ramp program. He does a great job designing the ramps. Sometimes they're quite unique in the turns that they have to take in order to get the length that is required to meet the code restrictions.
Right, because they can only pitch up so far for what is it anyway that it has to?
It's 1 inch for every. We have to build a ramp 12 inches long for every inch of rise that the ramp has to go.
I see. So if it has to go up 3 feet, that's pretty long.
So that'd be at least a 36-foot ramp. Plus you need a rest every 30 feet. So it would be quite a ramp.
Yeah. A rest every 30 feet, and then it's got to be wide enough to accommodate a wheelchair.
That's correct.
And then it's got to be wide enough so that they can turn, because obviously, how many ramps can you have that's going to be 30 feet straight? They're going to have to kind of serpentine their way into the entranceway, I would guess.
Right, that's true. But ramps are great projects for local businesses, community organizations, Rotary Club. They help us with our ramps. They come in, and in one day we'll complete a ramp. The homeowner gets to get out of their house finally, and the group that does the ramp sees a project completed, and it's a good time.
Really is, and I guess probably not going to break the bank, as projects go. I mean, you guys are doing whole houses, so this is a way that people can get involved, kind of on the doorstep level. What does the average ramp cost? I realize it's got to be a wild fluctuation, but
Yeah, for us, the average ramp is I'd say $1,800. Um, then of course they vary depending on the length that's required. Yeah.
sure, but very much within reach of somebody who wants to make an impact in the community, maybe doesn't have a whole lot of dollars. But I know you're also always looking for people to sponsor these big projects, corporate sponsors and the like. Is that the case with the Springfield and some other future projects? Are you actively looking right now for some support to get those done?
Yeah, we need support for Avenue A and Albion, and where most of our wheelchair ramps are funded already, so there's no cost to the homeowner usually.
Hmm. Fantastic. There's a lot of blighted properties here in this town, and I see our county land bank working very hard to get them back on the tax rolls, or perhaps sometimes they have to be raised, but get the next door homeowner to maybe buy that lot at a cheap price so that it's being taken care of and on the tax rolls. Does Habitat work with the land bank, or are you strictly a new build organization? How does that all work?
We have not built a new house for about 7 years. But what we do is we take old houses. Usually, it's the ugliest house on the block,
Yeah.
and we'll do a gut rehab on that house and completely redo everything. But the land bank has been a great source for us for old houses. In fact, I believe it's our last 5 or 6 houses have actually come through the land bank, and so we really appreciate them, and they help us locate houses in the places that we'd like to build. And yeah, and then we just got the whole house and put all new electric in, all new insulation, new drywall, new flooring. Thanks to Hans at Michigan Carpet and Tile, he donates carpet and the installation of the carpet for us. So we have some great community partners too. Yeah.
And he's involved in a couple of his own projects. He's got the old teacher house on Riverside that he's going to do, and he's renovated some really great old historic properties in town. And we're talking Habitat for Humanity. Robert Phillips is the new executive director. He's been on the job about 6 weeks now, and Mike King is the construction manager. Basically, wanted to ask you about volunteers. I mean, when you guys let's say you get a hold of a house from the land bank and make the commitment, how do you get from point A to point Z? There's a lot of steps, I guess. Mike was talking about gutting it and all the electrical and all of that, but what makes that happen, and who pays for that, and how much do volunteers do?
Well, nothing at Habitat gets done without the volunteers. I think on the second day I went to visit Mike in the Post neighborhood, and I could barely walk through the house. There were so many volunteers, and that's why we can do what we do.
That's excellent. And do you have to be skilled, or does it run the gamut between skilled and just unskilled?
It runs the gamut. That we have some very skilled people that come in with great skills, and we have people that come in with no skills at all, and they're nervous. They don't know what they're going to get into when they come to a Habitat build. But we like to teach them. We like to teach them our way to build, and so we work with all kinds of skills. Yeah.
I got a feeling you have so many volunteers because so many organizations have stepped up and said, "Look, let's do this as a group."
Yeah, we have a lot of groups from the area. Fort Warner, we have Battle Creek Red Cross Club from the Battle Creek Central Schools. We have several churches that work with us.
Mm-hmm.
The Rotary Clubs, Willard Library, Schweitzer Corporation, just some banks, Advia Credit Union, eye doctors, and dentist offices, so all kinds of people.
And that just shows you that, I mean, I'd be hard pressed to find anybody that thought Habitat for Humanity was a bad idea. I mean, certainly a great idea, and it's really making great impact in this community. In fact, we're going to have a party and try and drum up some more support and celebrate everything that we've done.
Yeah, so Habitat for Humanity has been in Battle Creek for 30 years, so we're having a 30th birthday party for ourselves, and that's serving all of Calhoun County. In the 30 years, we've done over 100 homes, new builds, rehabs. Over 20,000 hours have been volunteered. We drum up about $70,000 a year in local taxes. And like Mike said, we do about 40 wheelchair ramps a year. So we're throwing ourselves a birthday party at the Medalist Golf Club in Marshall on September 10th at 5:01. And if you haven't been to the Medalist, it's quite amazing.
It is. They have good food, and it's a really beautiful setting. Yeah, it's going to be great. So that's September the 10th. What day of the week is that, Robert?
Tuesday, I believe.
All right, Tuesday. So it's going to be a 5:01 party on Tuesday out at the Medalist. Sounds great. How does somebody even qualify for a Habitat home? Let's say there's somebody out there that's just, tired of renting and tired of moving around and just has a living situation that's not conducive to family. What do they do?
There's income qualifications that they must meet, and they have to have a need.
And
And
then they can call the Habitat office at 269-966-2502, and the ladies in the office will walk the family through the process, really. That's the big thing about Habitat. It's it's an organization that we believe relationships are important, and so we will walk people through the process, because home ownership can be scary for somebody for the first time, and so we like to have people walk right alongside of them to go through the whole process.
Once somebody qualifies and you say, okay, we're going to see what we can do here. How involved is that family in the renovation and all of that stuff?
yeah, they have to put in 500 hours before we close on the house.
Okay.
So they have some skin in the game.
I mean, think about it. A 40-hour week. That's like 12 straight weeks of work, full time. So that's a lot. That's a big commitment.
Now, some of those hours can come from family and friends also. So once again, we have that community involvement, and
They get a gang, and all of a sudden it goes much quicker.
it goes much quicker.
Yeah.
And they grow in relationships with Habitat volunteers, and sometimes those relationships last for years, actually.
I understand you're looking for a deconstruction crew. That sounds like maybe fun.
Yeah, so we'd like to get a small crew together to come to your house. If you're taking out your kitchen cabinets, we'll come take them out, and then we'll take them over to our restore where we would then sell them.
That's a good angle. You might be able to get a little bit off, from your contractor's price if you tell them, look, we'll gut the kitchen before you get started, and then that benefits Habitat. I mean, a lot of times, people have got cabinets that, still could look very nice and all. So
Yeah. If you're interested in volunteering, please call the office.
sure. And what kind of you guys take stuff all the time for the restore and for construction projects? What should we do if we think we've got something valuable that we'd like to get off of our property or out of our barn?
And call the restore 269-441-1038, or you can visit the website to schedule a pickup, or you can drop off Tuesday through Friday if you'd like that option.
Now, do you like to get a call first about what somebody has? Because there might be some stuff you really don't want, like those big old style TVs, for instance.
Yeah, we usually talk it through before we bring the truck.
Sure, yeah, and then just drop it off once Yeah, well, great. I mean, I think we just touched the tip of the iceberg here. So we'll remind people about the party on September 10th. We have you guys back anytime, and we'll talk some more about the great things you're doing. Welcome to the Battle Creek and Habitat for Humanity, Robert.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for having us.
All right, Mike King, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.